From space, Australia looks enormous, a continent surrounded by oceans, vast, open, empty. But hidden inside this beautiful landscape is one of the strangest population patterns on Earth. Nearly 90% of Australians live near the coastline, not in the center, not across the interior, around the edges. The heart of the continent remains almost empty, a silent expanse of deserts, dry riverbeds, and scorching earth stretching thousands of kilometers beneath the sun. So, why would an entire civilization gather at the rim of a continent? Australia is ancient, older than the Himalayas, older than the Atlantic Ocean. For millions of years, this land sat isolated from the rest of the world, slowly shaped by heat, erosion, and drought. Today, much of the continent receives little rainfall. Some regions are so dry, rivers disappear before they ever reach the sea. Water here is unpredictable, fragile, temporary. Summer temperatures can rise beyond 40 degrees Celsius. The soil is poor, vegetation is sparse, and in many places, survival itself becomes difficult. To early European settlers, the Australian interior felt endless. A massive empty center resisting agriculture, resisting expansion, resisting civilization itself. The answer lies partly in the atmosphere above the continent. Australia sits beneath vast subtropical high-pressure systems, belts of sinking air that suppress clouds and rainfall. Along the western coast, cold ocean currents reduce moisture in the air. And unlike South America or North America, Australia lacks towering mountain ranges capable of carrying rain deep inland. Moisture rarely reaches the center, and when rain does fall, it often vanishes beneath the brutal heat. Geography turned the interior into one of the harshest inhabited landscapes on Earth. But around the coastline, the continent changes completely. Rain becomes more reliable, temperatures soften, rivers flow longer. Along this narrow coastal strip, life flourishes, forests appear, farmland spreads outward, cities rise beside the ocean. Here, modern Australia was born, Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane. Great urban centers built beside deep harbors and open seas. Civilization gathered where the land finally allowed it. When British settlers arrived in the 18th century, they came by sea. The ocean determined everything. Harbors became colonies, colonies became cities, and cities became magnets for industry, trade, immigration, and power. Railroads spread outward from coastal ports. Roads connected coastal economies. Wealth accumulated near the sea. And with every generation, Australia became more concentrated around the edge, yet the outback is not empty. Beneath its deserts lie immense mineral riches that power the modern Australian economy. Iron ore, copper, gold, uranium. Remote mining settlements survive in isolation, connected by endless highways cutting through the red earth. Towns like Alice Springs endure in the center of the continent like distant islands in a desert sea. And long before European arrival, Aboriginal Australians learned to survive in these extreme environments through profound environmental knowledge passed down over thousands of years. The land was harsh, but never lifeless. Modern Australia is one of the most urbanized societies on Earth. Yet almost all of it exists within a narrow coastal crescent surrounding a vast and difficult interior. From above, the pattern becomes unmistakable, a giant continent, with civilization wrapped around its edges like a thin ribbon of light. But the forces that shaped Australia are growing stronger. Climate change is intensifying droughts. Heat waves are becoming more dangerous, bushfires more destructive. The coastline that once offered safety and survival may become even more critical in the decades ahead. The edge of Australia is not simply where people chose to live. It is where geography allowed civilization to exist. Australia teaches a powerful lesson. Human civilizations do not spread evenly across the earth. They follow water, climate, geography. And sometimes, an entire nation gathers at the very edge of a continent, between the sea and the desert.